Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to do yet another Dell Optiplex conversion into a gaming computer. Today's computer I'm going to use is a Dell Optiplex 9020, which is a 4th generation Intel i5 4400S, along with 8 gigabytes of RAM, 500 gigabyte hard drive, and a DVD RW drive. Now, for those of you not aware, that this computer could be fully transferred into a gaming case, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So I know you've seen many of these videos before where you could upgrade a Dell, especially when the motherboard has a standard 24-pin power supply connector along with the 4-pin, but in this case, this specific model, the 4th generation, the power connection from the power supply is proprietary, and I'm going to show you the part that you have to order on eBay for you to use in order to put a better or a different power supply. So without further ado, let's take a look inside. Okay, so this is the motherboard. This is after taking everything out of the Dell Optiplex 9020 case. Just want to go over very important things about this motherboard and what do you have to keep in order for you to integrate it into a gaming case. So right here we have the system fan. That's gonna come into the new case. This is a 92 millimeter case fan system. Unfortunately, I have to keep that because it does have the 5-pin proprietary connection. You know, this 4-pin connection for the power supply, every motherboard has that. And then also, as you could see, the heatsink fan is also proprietary, so you're gonna keep this heatsink, which is pretty decent, and especially if you cannot overclock the processor. So it does keep this system nice and cool. Once again, the processor that came with this thing was an i5 4440S, 2.8 gigahertz. Okay, now let's move over here. And this is very important. This is something different compared to the previous generation motherboards. You see, it's only an 8-pin power connection here. So in this setup here, you do have to order this piece on I was able to buy this on eBay, this adapter to a 24-pin power supply. With this adapter, you could plug it into any power supply of your choice. Of course, the higher power supply you use, the better graphics card you could use in the future. In my case, I'm only going to use, I think, a 430 watt Corsair power supply. I want to keep the budget down low, but you're going to need this. And yeah, it works really good. So the 4-pin comes in here, and that connects to your power supply. This is the key. And again, this is about 70 bucks. I ordered it, $77. I ordered it on eBay. It came pretty quick. Very important. Without this, you will not be able to integrate it into a gaming case. Now let's move over to a couple of more key features here that we need to keep. See this white connection here? That's going to be a thermal sensor. You're gonna also keep that and put it inside your case. That's very easy to hide, you know, and this is very important to keep also because it will give you an error upon startup. And this is the other thing that you need to keep. This is the front panel that usually will come with this and everything. I just took out the whole thing for you, but really all you need is this to be plugged in, and you could just snip the wire here, cut the wire here, and maybe just tape it up with some electrical tape and hide it. And otherwise, upon starting up the computer, you will get an error and the fans will blast at maximum speed, and it'll be too loud and it's really annoying. At that point, it's just not a clean build at all. And then of course, you have the I/O shield, which is a very nice quality, all black, very nice. Will go perfectly with your case. Okay, and then the last thing that you need to take care of here is these jumpers. You're gonna need two jumpers. Wait, I can't get it. I can't believe this. Can't get a good. Yeah, right there. You see the two jumpers. Doesn't matter what color, you know, that's all I had laying around. You're gonna need two jumpers going vertical, and that leaves you this one open area here, and that's where you're gonna plug in the power connection from your case. So out of all the connections, the power one is the only one you could use for this motherboard, and really that's all you need is on and off button. So you won't be able to use HD LED or power LED or reset. I've tried it, I mean, unless you could figure it out, but it's not a big issue. So these two jumpers have to be vertical, and this last one to the left, just look at the RAM too, so you just use that as a marker there. So it goes from this edge to this side. So the corner, this is the two you have to be free, and they go vertical. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Very easy to integrate. For those of you who weren't familiar with this, again, what a bargain. I paid 50 bucks for this case, I mean for this old computer, and look at all the things you get, and you get the whole platform. I'm also going to reuse the hard drive, which was 500 gigabytes, and I'm going to use the DVD player because I like to still, for some of the builds, you know, this is not the fanciest one. I'm going to use the DVD drive also from the computer, from the Dell Optiplex. And 8 gigabytes of RAM here, that's going to be used. So whatever you could use, you know, you just put it in a new case and it's going to perform really well. Again, this is a 4th generation, so your PCI Express lane is 3.0 x16, so you're going to get maximum performance out of NVIDIA card or whatever, you know, whatever you choose. Also, one other very important thing that's good about this case, you know, if you get a good, you know, used Dell Optiplex, it'll usually come with like a Windows 7 sticker on it. In my case, it was a Windows 7 Pro. So technically, you're also getting a free operating system, because if you have this Windows 7 Pro disk, you reinstall Windows, activate the original serial number, key code from this build, and then you upgrade to Windows 10 Pro, which is still for free. For those of you not aware of that, the Microsoft Media Creation tool still works, and you could still upgrade as long as the key is activated and it's legit. You could still upgrade to Windows 10 permanently, and it'll stay embedded in this motherboard for forever, pretty much. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all you gotta do to convert this to the case, and stay tuned for the finished product. And here is final product that you've been waiting for. It's, as you could see, the Dell Optiplex 3020 mid-tower is fully incorporated into this mid-tower case, aftermarket. Nothing fancy. This is no fancy case. No window panel on this thing or anything like that. But it's a nice clean look. And it's just right for the budget that I was trying to keep down to. And so once again, let's go over the specs on this bad boy. This Optiplex came with an i5 4440S, 2.8 gigabytes with 3.3 turbo, 8 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. Also, I reused the 500 gigabyte hard drive. And I kept the DVD drive because this is a mid-tower and it has plenty of slots for that. I like to keep the DVD drive sometimes, especially for these old rigs. And also, we had to use the system exhaust fan on the left, which is a pretty good one. I mean, the it looks like it's pretty fast and quiet. We had to reuse it because of the proprietary connection, otherwise it would give a system fan error upon the startup. And again, we reused the CPU heatsink here, as it does also have a proprietary connection. It's really not a bad cooler at all, and after you clean it up, put a little sticker on it, it looks pretty decent. And especially with this motherboard, you can't overclock, so with no need to invest any additional money into changing the CPU heatsink. Just clean it up, put the new thermal paste, and you're ready to go. So for the upgrades, we used a Corsair 430 watt power supply. Just pretty much bare minimum for a little upgrade here. I wasn't gonna plan to put any powerful graphics card. This particular one I'm using here is a Gigabyte RX 460 2GB VRAM. Decent little card to play some of the esport games. Not a problem at all. At 1080p with decent frame rates, at probably low to medium, and even some of the high settings, not an issue at all. What else we got here? That's pretty much it. I really try to keep it basic, and the whole point of this video is to show you that you could change this Dell Optiplex 4th generation into a gaming case. This one was a little bit more pain in the butt. I had to get an extra wire for that power connection on the right side, because it's not a regular 24 pin, it's just an 8 pin plus a 4 pin, which is normal on the top left. And I had to buy that extra conversion cable for about $7 from eBay. And as you could see, it works really well. You plug that in, and then the wire is like really long, so you just kind of hide it underneath the motherboard there behind and just plug it in, and that's it. Very simple. So another thing is, with this motherboard, it does lack of a front panel audio output, so the only audio you'll be using is from the back IO side right there, the back side, which is not a bad thing. You could get a sound card, and that'll solve your problem, because this case does come with a front panel sound connection. The only reason I didn't do it kind of looks messy. There's not much more room left underneath the graphics card, so it's going to be really tight there next to it and kind of block the airflow. But that's the only downfall in my opinion. Other than that, it's not bad at all. The motherboard is pretty modern. It does come with USB 3.0 front panel connection, as you can see here. Let's take a look here. I'm just going to zoom in really quick here and show you the wiring here. Yeah, you see it underneath the USB 3.0 front panel wire. You could see there's that's the front panel wiring that we had to keep from the old case. Again, I just snipped it a little bit, taped it up, and hide it underneath the motherboard. That way you don't get the front panel error, which is going to be annoying, and to me that'll be just not a good conversion at all. It'll be a waste of money. Then we also have the one sensor plugged in, which is the thermal sensor. Again, that's just, you could easily hide it underneath the motherboard or somewhere in the case. You can't even see anything. And then over here, there's our 8-pin motherboard proprietary connector, which was easily bypassed by this $7 wire. And then on top right there, let me just try to, okay, yeah, I'm sure you could see that. And that's the other main thing here. It's on the opposite side versus the Dell Optiplex 7010. The pins, the 2 pins are vertical on the left side, going across 1 and 2, and then all the way on the right vertically you're gonna put in your power wire for your case. That's the only wire you're gonna be able to use from the front panel of this case, or any case, and that's all you really need to do is use the on and off button, and it's not a problem at all. The computer turns off every time, it turns on every time, no issues, no errors, and that's where you want to be at. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the conversion. All there's left to do is test out some games and see how well this bad boy performs. And again, results may vary. It really all depends of how much money you want to put into a conversion like this. So without further ado, let's check out some games. Okay, and the first game we're going to test out is Battlefield 5. We're going to start off on the lowest settings on 1080p and work our way up. And we are using DirectX 11, as it still is the best for this game in my opinion. Even with the better graphics card and hardware, it just runs a lot better. So that's what I recommend. I mean, with the DX12, when you start this game, it already starts like stuttering and frame loss. It's pretty crazy. And those of you who are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos. You won't see too much of new hardware on my channels, but my mission is to save everybody money, to let people know that you don't need to spend $1,000 on a gaming computer. I want everybody to have a gaming computer or a budget build. You could even game with your home computer with the right parts, with some upgrades, and just to show everybody that you don't have to be wealthy to game. And it doesn't really matter if you have like this nice RGB LED case. I mean, that really does nothing for performance. And if you really want to play in 1080p on PC, technically it should cost you less than a brand new PS4 or Xbox S. And if you want to get into 4K gaming with the right budget parts, it'll be also less than a PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox X. And maybe further down the line I'll do a budget 4K build, for around $300 or less. Who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky with some parts and get some ideas out there. Well, you could see it's running pretty good on low. I think the max playable setting here will be like high. You could go on ultra, but it'll stutter too much. It's not worth it. Let's go and move into medium settings here. I'll go ahead and turn this on a little bit here. Oh yes, I love that with the bodies flying. I mean, the 1050 is really a good card. I mean, it really kicks butt. Yeah, in this case, it cost me $60 used. I was able to pick it up at the local Craigslist. You should be able to get something like that at your local Craigslist or so. That's really an honest price for that, I think, at this point. Alright, we'll just finish it off with the high settings to get a feel of what kind of frame rates we get. And that's about it for this game. Yeah, we'll leave that on low. You could probably go a little bit higher. Whoa. Oh yeah, that was a loading. And that's why it stuttered like that. And we're on high settings too. Yeah, you're getting, you know, looks good on high settings. You know, we're around 30 FPS during explosions and a lot of action. That's what I want to show you. Look at that. Okay, and that concludes our test for Battlefield 5. And here is Resident Evil 2 Remake. We are on 1080p, absolutely lowest settings, interlaced. Ah.
I'll get you out.
As you can see, the system really does well on Resident Evil. Yeah, but we're gonna turn up the settings. You won't, you won't see these high frame rates as much. Oh yeah, you gotta get a little closer. Come on. Nah, I could shoot you in the leg. Okay. Come on. That's it. Okay, let's see what we could do here. Yeah, we're gonna go into red. It is what it is. But it's not a bad thing. Let's see how we do here. Yeah, we want to be at 60, so that looks good. Looks pretty good to me.
Jesus, they're everywhere.
Oh. Forgot to grab the knife. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it on the high settings. You want to be around, 60, 70 FPS. This is going to be your setting. And that's using interlaced, but you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and put on normal. The graphics, the FPS will drop. That's it. Yeah, everything is a lot smoother now. So yeah, you're on like high settings, not bad at all. Around 50 to 60 FPS. In open areas like the main police station, the main hallway right there, you're always gonna get less FPS. But when you're in the smaller rooms, you're gonna get the higher FPS. Could even play a little bit more here. Let's go on low on that. That should give us a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Just take the arms off. Oh, that should just fall by itself. There you go. Yep. Ah, come on. Just not doing it right. Okay. That's it. Alright, and that's the conclusion, everybody. Resident Evil 2. And now we're testing the good old Battlefield 1, an older title, but it's still a good game to test it on. Yeah, we're starting at 1080p low settings. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot better performance with the system on older games, of course. We're in the lowest settings. We're gonna do low, and then we're just gonna max it out on ultra. So basically, if you want to just, you know, get close to 100 FPS, keep it on low. Go ahead and max this out. Right. That's it. Just want to see if it's playable. I think it is. Just don't want it to stutter. Not gonna get high frame rates, of course, but it's a really good card. Look at that super clock. Look at the core clock is we're at 1823 megahertz. It's pretty damn good. You know, that's why AMD NVIDIA does very good with these cards. Their core clocks are incredible, while AMD keeps making newer stuff that performs a lot like the older stuff, and their core clock is not, you know, nowhere near where a lower end graphics card could do. But yeah, we're fully maxed out, no stuttering. You know, I mean, you could be fully maxed out and have 30, 40 frame rates, but the game stutters, you know, it's like in slow motion. But in this case, it performs really good. And the detail is very good on this game. What else do you want? This price, yep. Okay, well, there you have it. As you could see, the system could max out Battlefield 1 on ultra settings. One of our better results in games. That's about it. And here we have the almighty classic GTA 5, which is gonna focus on one setting because we do have to restart the game every time when we do a drastic change. So we're on 1080p, right at the 2 gig threshold, which we could go way above, not a problem, but we're gonna just focus on the setting here, which is a high setting. We could probably turn a couple of things on. I will change something here, as long as it doesn't want me to restart the game. So let's begin here. As you can see, the GTX 1050 is a very capable card. Even with this old hardware, this computer again is from 2011. How's that possible? Again, those who are new to my channel, you know, Please don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos and find out that there's a lot of older hardware that could still play all the modern games nowadays. So, you know, don't be fooled into spending so much money in new hardware. There's really no reason for it.
Yeah, whatever you say. Hey, screw you too, homie.
It looks good on high settings. I'm gonna go ahead and see what else I could add on to this and then wrap this up. Okay, I know I could increase that. Yep, that's okay. We could do softest. Okay, that's good. And these are all pretty much. Or should we even go for the NVIDIA? That's even better. Oh wow, that dropped a lot. Let's see. Well, we'll leave it on that. Can I go more? Okay. Let's see how that runs. Oh yeah, that's a lot. That looks a lot better. A lot better. Hurry up. You know what? There seems like there's a little bit more room on high settings to go up a notch. Let's see if this is possible. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's see. No, no, no. That's not gonna be too much. Let's see if the 4. Aha, on the 4 this unlocks. Let's see if I could even play it like this. Just want to be able to play it. Oh yeah, perfect. This is it. No stuttering. The game looks a lot better with all those options turned on high settings. Again, let's just review all the final settings so you could just see pretty much what it's capable of. We got this on X4. If this is X8, then the NVIDIA TX8 AA won't appear as an option. So we're here. That's pretty much maxed out here. Oh, we could do this too. Yeah, we'll do that. So we're on high. I'm gonna leave this at X4. I think if we go higher with the other settings, it's gonna start stuttering, so we'll just leave it like this. Alright. Yep. Looks really good. Probably the best settings you're gonna get for the playable frame rates. And that's it, everybody. That concludes the testing of this ultra budget gaming PC that you yourself could easily convert your old dusty Dell Optiplex and make it look even better. It really all depends how much money you want to spend. But for that such small price of $50 to have an i5 platform, it's really incredible. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.